Chapter 7, Reversal. As news of their victory spread, groups of revolutionaries from all over came to join the Black Dragon squad. One day, a secret messenger appeared before the increasingly powerful Black Dragon squad. Furious with his defeat, Ishtar has decided to take out his anger on resistance sympathizers in nearby villages. The leader of one village managed to escape capture but is now running for her life from Ishtar and his forces. Joey mobilizes his troops and heads off to save this brave leader and her people from the ruthless empire. Red 2 standing by, all 4 lit and in the green. Welcome back to YuGiOh the Falsebound Kingdom, and I think you can guess who we're chasing. It's someone very familiar. My teams are staying set and we are moving on into battle. Let's just get going, and we have another annoying rescue mission to deal with. Oh well, we'll make the most of it. If you harm even one hair on the heads of these people, you'll regret it. Hey, isn't that Taya? Really? Oh no, Ishtar's forces are almost on top of her! Alright. Wait, hang on, what's the plan? Alright, so we can actually get Taya out of there. Joey, turn around. Right, so we don't actually get any penalty for losing that base, but they're going to charge in after us, I presume. We're going to have we've got a lot of grunts coming at us. We might have... We've got flyers, we've got ground units, we've got a nasty assortment of teams. We've got to get Taya to safety. Ah. The chase is on. Giselle, as always, take first watch. But I need to set up everyone. Oh, those... Ah, the monster circles annoy me so much. Alright, Taya's safe. Alright, Taya's taking first watch then. This is going to be a problem. Because I don't have a barricade up. Any time you have to wind up saving Taya, it's always a problem. Like, Taya's team is capable, assuming I actually get to take my turn. But she doesn't come with any items as far as I know. Do we actually have any items? Crap. Do you have your power up? Yes, you do. Crystal Shards does really heavy damage on dark monsters. Fanaticism. Well, alright, this might not be horrible. We at least get an attack power up of 800 points. Giselle's just going to have to take next watch. Summon Skull is going to be a nuisance because I have no healing. So we need to kill that as quickly as possible. I might be able to fight back fairly well, especially since Aquamador has Tidal Wave. That is probably the saving grace of Taya's slightly terrible team. At least it feels slightly terrible. They're not... Oh, that sucked. This is going to... This is already sucking. Because of the stupid monster circle thing, Because of the stupid monster circle thing, Giselle couldn't get out of the base and back in time. This... Alright. Oh, this sucks. This sucks. This sucks. This really sucks. I'm gonna run. Alright, we'll push the enemy back. Because I don't want Taya fighting just yet. If I get the guns firing, then maybe. Giselle. Maliera can take care of them. Stupid monster circle limitations. Right. Okay, desperate situations call for desperate measures. And Maliera is going to have to take this job because Giselle can't get his stupid large monster circle out of the way. Thwarted by game mechanics. How frustrating. When does Creowell actually get its special attack? Wait, Dark Lightning? It's got an effect? Oh, machines. Rightio. I don't think I'd come across that because I've forgotten. It's been a long time. As a result, I also forgot how bothersome this mission is. Let's see. We'll just rip away with Hinatama, dealing a bit of damage. It'll be fine. This one is under control. This is all under control. I should have had the guns built first. But that's my poor decision making, in all fairness. We can finally calm down and actually wrest back control of this. As I've said before, stuff like this, why I hate rescue missions. Because it's always so skewed against you. There's always something that makes it a pain in the ass to deal with. And it's usually through no fault of your own. The person you're trying to save is almost always incompetent. Like, I think Taya at least has healing when you wind up fighting with her in Chapter 8 of Yugi's story, and she's got Screen Mist. That is such a useful special. There we are, Maliera, you're a lifesaver. Thank you. Now that we've got this sorted out, I can have Giselle take the next watch, heal Taya's team, and... Alright, who's coming at us next? They are all coming at us hot. I think we had the only flyer out of the way. Right. Are there going to be any more enemies coming at me? This could be a... So the only flyer is sort of well out of the way. I'd probably better keep Taya out of this because... things aren't going to go well for her. Right, let's take care of this one with Dharma Cannon's attack, because its magic is a nuisance. Gun that down. And then we have to sit through this lengthy attack animation before my team can actually do anything. Sometimes that's the worst part about this, just sitting through all the attacks, wondering when it's going to be your turn. Let's kill this. And then my illusionist faceless mage can take out another one of those. Good. And there we are. That should set everything up quite nicely. I might be able Of course it's got to get the last word. It can't be my turn, can it? One final spiteful middle finger. Given what happened in the last mission, I'm a little bit done with the turn order being screwed around with. I'm a little bit done with the AI in general. Alright, Creel's at least got some really good AP. Big benefit there. I also hate rescue missions, so... Mai, you want to go? Alright, Spirit Team. Oh crap, Spirit Team. So, we'll have to nobble Orion knowing that it's got a special attack. Righto. So, yeah, this is the part of the game where it's... Like, early on, battles are just sort of drawn out slugfests where you just have to manage your healing really well and just try and survive for as long as possible. In these fights, it's almost... Essentially, it almost is like a metaphor for YuGiOh in a sense. Because we know these teams are incredibly powerful. Like, we see exactly how powerful everything is. If we're not careful, in these battles, we wind up getting ripped through before we get to take our turn, essentially. And you can just easily dispatch your opponent in a few quick attacks with the right combinations. But early on, it's sort of a drawn-out slugfest. Games take a long time to complete, things like that. It's an interesting demonstration of power creep. Right. That was painful. I am just gonna have to go for it. I've got to take... Bugger. That really made Wing Eagle's flavor text look questionable. Mavelus, for the love of God, please. Please do this. Thank you, Mavelus. You are brilliant. And now you start to see what happens when you don't bring your own spirit monsters. Very big, very hurty magic. Like, this is going to suck. Let's not beat around the bush. This is going to suck. Because you know all the shenanigans I did with Shimon way back in Yugi's story with Violet Crystal? That's basically what's happening here. And if you are not careful about it, you will get killed so fast. Alright, I need to wipe that one out. I kind of don't care if my Gemini elf gets wiped out. I just have to swing for the fences. I just have to take them down. Because now I get to understand what the AI felt when I stuffed around with the Shimon's teams, powering up all my Night Adept monsters. Oh, this sucks. If you don't prepare and counter with the right team accordingly, this sucks. If you're trying to train monsters, this is a nightmare. It really, really stinks. I'll at least make sure she's healed. Because she's another target. That whole warm body with a gun thing. I mean, admittedly, they have wasted a lot of time using Power of Nature, which has at least allowed me to start doing a lot of damage, but, like, I think they've probably overcooked it on the Power of Nature thing. There is a point where you just don't muck around too much, because otherwise you will just sort of screw yourself over. It is kind of the disadvantage. Sometimes a regular attack is better than Hinatama, I'll be honest. Right, so it guarded. I can wait. And it can't increase its attack anymore. Okay, this is terrifying, but they're dumb. The AI is... it's dumb. It's completely dumb. It's got so hooked on... Oh. That is also a thing. It can... I mean, it doesn't matter if it's stupid because it can mess with the turn order anytime it likes. But if this goes south, I have Crimson Sunbird. Well, that could have been worse. That could have been worse. I've been half insanely frustrated and half running around, waving my hands above my head, screaming. Ah! Oh boy, what a mission. Rescues really suck. What? Oh. That's what... Right, that's Tristan. And then we gotta find out what else we're facing. Taya might actually be able to face a fairly weak team. But I think we're all good for now. Right. They're not very... Apart from Queen of Autumn Leaves, they're not very strong. But doing enough damage to get rid of the healer is the most important thing. Probably should have had Joey take care of this one, in all fairness. I haven't planned this out very well. Fortunately, I frequently say that my patron saint is Harrison Ford, because like Indiana Jones and Han Solo, I'm very good at making it up as I go along. I essentially have to, because the way my luck works, anytime I actually plan something out, either there will be one minuscule detail I forget, or my... Oh. Or my plan will just... Something will just go wrong because the universe doesn't like me and everything will just sort of disintegrate. Yes, the poison will kill it. Good. Good. That actually worked a lot better than I thought. See, if I actually plan everything out meticulously, either I'll have really, really crappy luck and it just won't work, or I will wind up forgetting something. I can be so good at thinking several turns ahead. I will be able to plan out precision strategies, organize everything neatly and efficiently. But, you know what, I might as... 500 attack really isn't worth it, in all fairness. But I can plan out a whole lot of ideas, but I'll just wind up forgetting something because I'm so busy thinking several turns ahead and planning for the long game that I wind up missing what's right in front of me. I'm very good at improvising speeches, in all fairness. We've just finished the actual reception for my brother's wedding because we were supposed to have the proper wedding and reception, but we had various lockdown stuff to deal with. So on the actual day of the wedding, we only had a small family group there. But that was a hell of a lot of fun. That was a really good occasion. Apart from the photo shoots, because I hate having my photo taken. As in, it will actually really give me bad anxiety and I'll get very annoyed with you very quickly. It's nothing personal. It's just that I kind of had to be miserable in a sense because it was not about me. I battled through because it wasn't about me. It's about other people. It's about making sure that my brother and his wife are happy. And even though I don't handle very big crowds that well, the reception was a bit of a nightmare for me because I don't handle those crowds well. Evidently, I did enough to stick at it. And, well, a lot of people thought that I did a very good job with my part of the speech because we had the best man and the groomsman doing speeches, and I pretty much winged mine. I also wound up winging my speech at the little wedding day reception, which was at a very nice cafe the family has frequented. I'm generally pretty good with improvisation, and I'll often start off with a few little jokes along the way if something interesting comes to mind. But I suppose when I actually think about it, when I actually try and be funny, I don't think I'm very funny. But I can wind up coming up with something darkly comedic along the way. Just some sort of little spur-of-the-moment thing will wind up popping in, and I can make that amusing here and there. But if I actually try to be a bit of a comedian, unless I get that sudden inspiration that just works so well, that rare one-liner out of nowhere that I've made up off the top of my head, if I plan out an attempt to be funny, it won't work, but that random one-liner will. It's sort of the thing with these videos. I don't necessarily think I'm a great comedian. I don't necessarily think I'm particularly funny. I can try and plan out a few gags here and there, but I don't think I'm super funny. Rightio. Now we need to wind up healing our team, I think. Yeah. Healing. Let's get onto some healing and then I can take out the enemy for a bit. Rogue Doll made its international debut in both Kyber and Pegasus starter decks. It has also appeared in Speed Duel sets. In Japan, it debuted in Booster 2, immediately reappeared in Volume 3, and also showed up in the EX starter box. Rogue Doll's international name is actually a very strange choice, since its Japanese name is Holy Doll. Mystical Elf is Holy Elf in Japan, so why did this not get similar treatment? Rogue Doll makes you think it's a bit chaotic, the result of dark magic going awry or some such. Nope, it's apparently a holy doll good at battling dark forces. In the manga, it destroyed zombie monsters with its effect, while in this game, it hits Darklands monsters pretty hard. Of course, Darklands monsters also get the opportunity to wipe it out, so it's obviously not that good at its job. Aquamador made its international debut in Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon and Pegasus starter deck. It's appeared a few more times along the way. In Japan, it debuted in the starter box's theatrical release, then in their version of Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon. In Latin, this monster's name means moist water. Now, I haven't heard of dry water, though I could be wrong, but water is usually wet or at least moist, right? Semantics aside, Aquamador is a pretty solid defender and has some upgraded forms with even better defensive capacity in terms of raw stats. Surprisingly, those upgraded forms are actually fairly buff despite their crummy attack. Who knows, it probably means the muscles bolster their ability to shrug off attacks, but they train too much to land meaningful blows because they're so sluggish because of their bulk. Kind of like that really buff but really slow form Trunks got in Dragon Ball Z. Alright, so this is a bit of an experiment. Alright, we're poisoned. Great start. Great start. So I really wanted to see if Taya could actually take this team out. Mystical Elf recovered very quickly. Oh wait, she didn't even get hit at all because she has Status Guard. This team's got level 3 magic. That's going to be really good. So I should open up with fanaticism. That seems really weird. That's not a sentence I ever thought I'd say, in all fairness. And Tidal Wave. Fortunately, as I said, we are using the Generation 3 incarnation of Surf and Mist. Well, we can at least just lay into one one Sagi anyway. Right, that's good. They've wasted their time with their precious germs. Mystical Elf laughs at your precious germs. This is decidedly annoying. This actually kind of sucks. This could be problematic. I would be willing to bet that... Okay. This has gone wrong. Well, Mystical Elf, it is all on your shoulders. Beat them up with a Kirby game. Beat them up with Kirby's previous sort of 3D adventure. Is it going to attack Mystical Elf? No, it's attacking Aquamador. That's a problem. Is my team actually going to recover from paralysis fairly quickly? What would the survey say? I mean, if Mystical Elf winds up running out of AP, I admittedly could be sitting here for quite some time. Depends on who they attack. And if they keep spamming Germ Infection. The fact that Taya's team doesn't actually have anything it can do... Alright, yes, Raimei is chip damage. That is fine. Keep me paralyzed. That is not fine. Hello, yes, please attack Mystical Elf. Thank you, bye. Please stop attacking Rogue Doll. I know it's my strongest monster, but please stop attacking it. I would like it to have a turn, thanks. Well, they might not kill me. Hello. It's... Okay, so it's wasted its AP. Right, so these guys are kind of dumb. I'm hoping for a critical. Come on, Kirby Bludgeon. That is decidedly unpleasant. Well, Rogue Doll is dead. Right, yes, Now you get to see exactly how annoying all those status conditions are. You also get to see how stupid the AI is. Now, I'm legitimately surprised Aquamador actually just got to do something. Because I wouldn't have been surprised if I just had to sit there being paralyzed for several turns. Alright. Well, we wind up... We can blast the crap out of a really, really creepy ventriloquist doll. And then it's going to be a boring, drawn-out slugfest between the two of us. Problem is, it still has a really useful weapon in hand in the form of Final Flame. I presume all the status conditions actually gave it an advantage. Rogue Doll was luggage. It didn't get to do anything. This is why having items is so helpful. Mystical Elf is going to be a really, really good healer. Joey, you wait there. Taya might be able to take on the boss, because the boss is just sort of generic and has red medicine. Joey, you're taking on the boss. Alright, let's just blitz through this. Well, we're probably not going to be able to blitz through this because I have a feeling there's going to be impending disaster. So, what horrible thing am I going to have to deal with now? At least Aquamador actually got a turn. Alright. Is Aquamador still stronger? God damn it. Well, at least I've got this fight won. Good lord, that is... Unless you can actually get Taya to fight opponents by hitting them with the cannons, and it's wasting its turn. Like, I rag on quite a few monsters, but Illusionist Faceless Mage's special attack is probably one of the dumbest in the entire game because of the fact a few levels after, it actually gets the ability to paralyze as a matter of course with its regular attack. It's really stupid. I just don't get it. I just do not get it. I might have Taya take on the boss. Taya, you're not fighting anyone else. Who else have we got there? Probably going to be... Oh, we had better get our skates on. Joey's team would probably blitz through the boss, so I'd better have them deal. I should have had Mala Erica take this one on. But then again, I didn't realize on account of the fact I thought that this was going to be the Pumpkin team. Well, we can lock down Hinatama and then we can just sort of really, really wail on him. Admittedly, we've seen this before, so I'll try and fit in any more profiles I haven't fitted in, and then we'll take on the next opponents. Mystical Elf made its international debut in Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon and seems to be a structure deck favourite. In Japan, it debuted in Volume 2 and also became fairly prominent. Now, while I do find it a bit stupid, alright, I actually find it a lot stupid, that Mystical Elf was a super rare in Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon, while Giant Soldier of Stone was only a rare despite having 500 more attack, and crucially being a level lower, which might help it to get around Gravity Bind if you ever need to. This is still a pretty useful card, all things considered. It had more support around at the time, because spellcasters got a lot of support and rock types didn't, and can still be useful in the right deck. In the anime, it could conveniently power up the Blue Eyes White Dragon with a mystical spell, which of course was never used again because the early rules were janky as all get out. It was also immune to Mai's Shadow of Eyes card on account of the fact it was a female monster. Like I said, the rules are janky as hell. Cosmo Queen made its international debut in the first McDonald's promo set, appearing in the 2013 starter deck and legendary collection Yugi's World. In Japan, it debuted in Premium Pack, then appeared in the 2013 starter deck. Cosmo Queen is quite a strong normal monster, and benefits from all the great support which comes from that, so I would be willing to say that if you got this from McDonald's, it'd be just about worth forcing that artificial gunge occasionally sharing constituent atoms with food down your throat. Probably not entirely worth it, but goes some way close. For some reason, the player must fuse Dark Elf and Mystical Elf to get Cosmo Queen in this game, while the AI gets to use it as a regular monster, which is incredibly annoying. At least it's not a ritual monster this time, like it is in some video games, though it comes with the handy divine attribute when it does. Alright, only a couple of teams to go, and in all fairness, we've seen this one before. It's capable, but in all fairness, it's also capable of being very stupid. Because last time, the most distinct memory I have of Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth is using Phosphorus Poison twice, and not bothering to attack us and then dying horribly. And slowly, but now has... Finally, it has the ability to poison us. That's got Zombie Energy Infusion, which powers up all Darklands monsters. Which means if we did, for whatever reason, keep Pumpkin alive, it could wind up powering itself up and no one else. The AI doesn't always pay regard to things like that. Of course, I have done stupid things in the past too, so... Let's just add a little bit of fire to the mix, because we're fighting a plant thing and an insect. or two. As they say in Zelda 2, when all else fails, use fire. Now, this sort of admittedly does seem like they're advocating random pyromania, and to be fair, that is a solution. It is not a good solution. It is a solution. We do not advocate pyromania here, especially since Australia is a very hot and dry continent and things catch on fire easily enough as it is, so seriously, be sensible with fire. But basically what that when all else fails use fire statement meant was that if you encountered enemies you couldn't hurt with your sword, you would just have to use the fire spell to shoot fireballs and damage them. Certain enemies could not be harmed with the regular sword beam, but they could be harmed if you wound up using the fire spell. The scorpion-like Ararudas, I think that was their name, could be harmed by the fire spell. There were certain enemies for which the fire spell was the only way to hurt them, but I also think that enemies that weren't damaged by your sword beams also weren't damaged by the fire spell as far as I remember, which made it fairly useless. Combat with a lot of enemies in Zelda 2 was actually a pain in the ass, and you had to be very, very good at getting your timing right on account of the fact that if you didn't get things just right, you'd constantly wind up attacking their shields, and you really had to guess just where the attacks were going. It's probably the hardest Zelda game because of the incredible amounts of jank involved in it. And interestingly, the English versions make quite a few things harder, such as the boss of the 5th palace actually being a unique one with a difficult to hit weak spot protected by an extendable mace, whereas in the Japanese version it was just a rematch with Horsehead. The English version also added random enemies that gave no experience, but just seemed to spawn in waves and would take little bits of experience off you if they hit you. On top of that, for the international version, the experience needed to level up actually capped out at 8,000 instead of 4,000. But I think in one of them you could only level your stats up in a specific order. I think that might have been the case in the Japanese version. So it was a lot harder in many ways in the international version. It was janky as all hell. It's an interesting game, but it's janky as all hell. Well, there we are. We've made it. I could have Taya fight the boss. How strong are the Zaragans? Bazon is liberated. Now, we don't have a lot of time. I will send Mai over here. I'll get a healer. Now, Taya's natural healer ability does mean that she recovers a bit more health, a bit faster at various bases. I'll move Taya down this way. Alright, so I'll have Taya handle the incoming grunts, while Joey sneaks past. Joey sneaks past the main avenue and then heads for the base. Doriedo has never made an international appearance. In Japan, it debuted in Booster 3 and reappeared in a 2008 tournament pack. Doriedo, or Dryad, herself is a fairly forgettable normal monster. Though her design is pretty nice, it's actually shared with Lady of Faith. Doriedo did get to appear in the TCG, courtesy of her retrained ritual counterpart, Elemental Mistress Doriedo. That version counted as all 4 element-based attributes, Earth, Fire, Wind, and Water. We unfortunately didn't get Heart so that we could summon Captain Planet, as well as a light monster. Dark YuGiOh from the Pendulum era could actually search those 4 elemental monsters, and YuGiOh as the elemental mistress was basically a 1-card Furin Kazan option. In all, she's actually had a pretty good career. Virtual World QB Shen made its debut in Phantom Rage. It's a lot more recent than most things I've covered, so it's appeared just the once. Admittedly, the secret rare text is kinda hard to read on Synchro monsters. Apparently, the virtual world isn't just a filler arc with a really busted deckmaster rule that was just incredibly random and made up as they went along. It's a capable part psychic archetype, wind psychics and earth worm type monsters. This ace card for the deck forcibly banishes all cards sent from the field, which means that while it will benefit virtual world strategies, it actually fits very nicely into a banished-based psychic deck. With the various tools the type has at its disposal, I could very easily see this being a very capable addition to their arsenal. It's something surprising that might actually make me change from Hyper Psychic Blaster when I use Overdrive Teleporter. And that's saying something. Mystical Sand made its international debut and only appearance in Astral Pack 1. In Japan, it debuted in Booster 6 and reappeared in Booster R3. Mystical Sand was originally called Sandwich in the OCG, but this might have caused a bit of confusion with Sandwich, the fusion of Sangan and Witch of the Black Forest. Alternatively, it might have made her seem like a common lunch item, sparking a rather nasty brawl with Hungry Burger as to which one is the better food-inspired monster. Anyway, this monster actually has a rather beautiful design. I do actually own the Japanese version of this, and she apparently turns enemies to stone with her magic. It is worth noting that for overall card game prowess, Giant Soldier of Stone is probably better, all things considered. Still, in all fairness, worse cards than this exist, like Kaiser Dragon, which I will constantly rag on even though its attack is slightly higher, and Rare Fish, which is absolutely awful. This isn't too bad, I just like this one. Alright, turns out with some decent equipment behind her, well, some decent construction behind her, Taya can actually provide a fairly competent team. We're nearly out of time, but we actually have the battle against the boss coming up, and oh boy, this has been a tough one. So we face one more generic grunt, and then I'm winding up for this recording session. It's been one hell of a brawl. So we have to take care of those Zaragans because they are the healers. Select my targets carefully, knock out the healers, and away we go. Probably should have attacked Sengenjin then. Alright, this one. And then we just wind up wiping that one. Excuse me, game? Zaragan does not have status guard. Well, let me see. Does it have status guard? Or did I just get really, 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 really unlucky? Okay, that helps it dodge. Didn't say anything about status conditions. So, I mean, it's a minor inconvenience. But we might be able to take care of it. That's twice now. That, well, I mean, I can get rid of them pretty easily, but boy, it shows how well my luck has gone if that's not working. Third time is the charm. It does still actually work. I was starting to wonder for a moment. Oh, this mission has been nothing but one long ball of frustration. I hate rescue missions. I mean, admittedly, if I'd managed to get things set up so that Taya could defend herself fairly well, I might have been alright, but I kinda goofed and then everything went horrifically wrong. I mean, admittedly, when she did get those good barricades behind her in the main fortress, she suddenly got a hell of a lot of power. And her team went from kind of crappy to alright. Admittedly, I was taking on enemies with half health, but it was a big advantage and we did very well. So, of course you can power up those monsters and keep the power-ups on them so that in the future, when Taya's team battles, her monsters will actually have that equipment, which is really, really handy. It's the same deal with refugees back in Yugi's story. You can keep her monsters powered up, and you will increase her survivability so much. With the right training, you power level Taya's monsters and she can actually KO the enemy on her own. And there we are, we have made it through another rescue mission. Froson is liberated. Whew! We managed to fight him off! Thanks! So the Black Dragon Squad is you guys, huh? Taya, do you not recognize what Joey's ace card used to be? He's presumably got it back at this point. Interestingly enough, the anime implies that when Joey duels Yugi at the end of the Battle City arc, while you don't see the results, the fact that in other arcs he has the Red Eyes Black Dragon back implies that at least in the anime continuity, he beat Yugi and won it. Haha, yep. Surprised? Relieved. It looks like you haven't run into Yugi yet either. Where could he be? I don't know, but we figure if we keep fighting, our paths will cross eventually. Boss, I've got bad news. Marek's headed this way with a huge army. It's even bigger than the last one. We better get out of here. What? Listen up, everyone. We're out of here. Wait a minute, Joey. I've got an idea. So, what sort of cunning plan, I really shouldn't say it like that, has Mai got in store for Marek? She probably has a burning score to settle given the result of her duel with him in Battle City, so we'll see what there is in the next episode. Thank you very much for joining me. Until next time, this is Red 2, returning to base.